The Kia Niro is one of the best-selling cars in Europe. And not just for Kia, but in general, it's one of the best-selling cars. Now there's an all-new Kia Niro out, and in this video I'm going to take a look if this car has all the potential to become another big success story for Kia. I'm going to take you through the interior of the car, the exterior, and we're going to take it out for a drive, so let's get started. Now you might be wondering, why is the Kia Niro such a big success in Europe? Well, there are actually two reasons for that. First of all, of course, the price. For a very decent price you get a pretty practical and spacious SUV. And the second reason, which is more important, is the fact that Kia offers this car with 3 different powertrains. So you can get this car as a hybrid, as a plug-in hybrid, and also as a fully electric version, the e-Niro. And if you take all the 3 versions together, you basically end up with one of the more popular cars in Europe. Because they all sell pretty well, not just the hybrid and the plug-in hybrid, but also the fully electric Niro sells very well in Europe. And so now it's time for a completely new Niro. This is it. Let's first talk about the design. Later I'm going to talk more about the powertrains. This is actually the hybrid version that I've got here. But first let's talk design, because they changed, well, a lot on the car. The previous car looked a little bit tame, not that exciting, but this new Niro looks a lot more tough and a lot more modern. So let's talk front end design. We really have to discuss 2 things. First of all, the grille, or rather the lack of a grille. On the previous Niro you still had a fairly big grille, but on this one they completely removed it. Which is a good thing, because well, on the previous e-Niro, the electric Niro, they kind of had to close off the grille, because an electric car doesn't need a grille, which makes the e-Niro look a little bit outdated. And on the new Niro you don't have that problem, because not a single version of the Niro has a grille now. So not even this hybrid version has a grille here. You only got this small black strip that looks a little bit like a grille, but it's completely closed off. You only get a grille here on the lower end. Then the other thing that I want to discuss are the headlights. They look pretty cool. You get this big unit here on either side of the car, and they have this pretty funky looking daylight running lights. It almost looks like a pulse signature. At Kia they like to call this the heartbeat signature, the heartbeat daylight running lights, because it looks like a heartbeat on a heart monitor in a hospital. And I have to say, it looks pretty cool. And even at the back you also get it, and not like a daylight running light, or not in the tail lights, but in the lower part of the rear bumper you also get these pulse looking, this heartbeat looking lights. The design here at the back of the car is also pretty funky, especially the tail lights really stick out, literally and figuratively. And they're next to the C-pillar, which as you can see has a different color than the rest of the car. It's black on this car, but you can also get all sorts of colors. So for instance, you can get a white Niro with a red C-pillar, which is just, well, pretty funky. What is also a bit odd on the C-pillar is the fact that it's not really connected to the entire body of the car. Well, it is basically, but there is a little bit of an air duct here just behind it, which is actually a functional air duct. It runs all the way from here up to here. So that's pretty cool to see. I'm not sure if it really helps with the aerodynamics, but it looks pretty cool, I have to admit. So let's take a look at the cargo space. This car offers 451 liters of cargo space. This is the hybrid version, and that's more than 100 liters more than the plug-in hybrid version. So that's something to keep in mind if you like to go on a holiday and take a lot of stuff with you. The plug-in hybrid has substantially less cargo space than this hybrid version. Now if you really want to take a lot of stuff with you, you have to go for the fully electric version, the Niro EV, because that car can take up to 475 liters of cargo space here in the back, and it also has a little bit of a cargo space under the bonnet, under the hood, or the frunk, how we like to call it nowadays, because there's an extra 20 liters of storage space, so there you can leave some groceries or, for example, your charging cables. However, if you want to tow a caravan or a trailer, you're probably better off buying the hybrid or the plug-in hybrid, because they can both tow up to 1300 kilos, and the fully electric Niro EV can tow up to 750 kilos. Alright, so let's discuss the backseat situation. As an adult, I'm actually quite comfortable here. This is after all a pretty compact SUV, but as you can see, I still got room left for my knees. I'm 180 centimeters, so not the tallest, but definitely not the shortest out there. But I'm quite comfortable here. And especially because the seats are up really high, I can easily put my feet under the seat, which is also very helpful here. Now headroom is also pretty decent, that's definitely not a problem, even if you're a bit taller. What is very nice here in the back is the fact that you get a fully household socket here, like a power socket, but you also get USB ports. They're not down here, but they're actually in the seat. So you get one here on the right side and one here on the left side. Very nice to see that. Now, of course, you get an armrest here in the middle with 2 cup holders. You get 3 headrests here. And I would say that's pretty much it. You do get a bit of a bump here in the middle, but it's not that really high up. So even if you would sit in the middle, you're actually quite comfortable because you can put your feet under the seat and next to the hump in the middle. Now I would say that it is probably not a good idea to put 3 adults next to each other, but 3 kids will go just fine. The interior of the new Niro looks a lot better than the interior you got in the previous version. It looks a lot more modern, and it even looks a lot like the new Kia EV6, the new fully electric Kia. So very modern indeed. You get 2 big screens here in front of you, a digital gauge cluster and also an infotainment screen here as well. You can even get a head-up display in front of you as well, which is also 10-inch. I really like this toolbar looking screen here on the lower part that you also get in the EV6. I'm pretty sure this one is the same that you get in the EV6. You can use it to control the infotainment system, but you can also use it to control the climate controls, which has been done very cleverly here on the same screen. Now, a lot of the materials in the car are very durable. Take for example the headliner, which is made for 51% of recycled paper, like paper fiber. And I have to say, it looks pretty cool. It doesn't look like some old recycled paper. It almost looks like Alcantara or something. And also a lot of the fabrics on the seat is also recycled material as well. So let's talk about the drivetrains. Like I said, 3 options: hybrids, plug-in hybrids and fully electric. The hybrids both have a 1.6 petrol engine. It's almost the same engine that you got in the previous Niro, but it is like a 2nd generation engine. It's a bit lighter, it's a bit tuned, so it's a bit better. Now in the plug-in hybrid you also get a more powerful electric engine. So the plug-in hybrid has 183 horsepower, this hybrid has 141 horsepower, and the fully electric Niro EV has 204 horsepower. Now the plug-in hybrid can do up to 65 kilometers of pure electric range. The fully electric version will do 460 kilometers. And this hybrid version will basically do 0 kilometers officially, but it will actually do a couple of kilometers because this one has a 1 kilowatt hour battery or a 1.3 kilowatt hour battery. And so it will actually do a couple of kilometers. So for example, now I'm pulling away at a stoplight and I'm doing it fully electric. And so let's see how far I will go before the petrol engine kicks in. I'm not giving the car too much power, but I'm doing the maximum speed that I'm allowed to do here, so 50 kilometers an hour, and I'm still driving electric. So within the city you can actually do a couple of kilometers. The car can even do some regenerative braking like a fully electric car. You even got these flappy pedals that you can use to adjust the regenerative modes on this car. You got 3 modes. If you go for 0, the car won't do any regenerative braking, and if you go for mode 3, the car will actually stop quite quickly. Using the electric motor, it will actually decelerate quite fast, but it won't come to a complete stop. So that's everything you need to know in a nutshell about the new Kia Niro. If you like this video, and don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And then I'll see you at the next one.